Hey guys, what's up? It's me, Tony here. How are we all doing? This video is going to talk about suicide. So before we even start, I know there's things in here I might say that could be, I don't want to take anything the wrong way. Nobody take anything the wrong way. We're just talking out loud here. I don't have a script. I don't talk about these things. Don't plan what I'm talking about. But this is an issue I need to kind of cover and talk about because, to be fair, it's what started my journey 4 weeks ago is when I thought, what the fuck are you doing, Tony? And then started this little journey we're on. So, suicide. I've spoken to someone who said that the thoughts I have on suicide aren't suicidal thoughts. And I can see it from that point of view. The suicidal thought would be, right, I'm going to cut my wrists and do it. To me, that's a suicide thought. That's me thinking, I'm going to do something, and then the next step is then doing that thing. I would say that when I have these dark thoughts, it's more about the planning than the doing, if that makes sense. So if I walk over a bridge, for example, I may think, if I just jump there, then I would land on that in front of that car, I'd be dead. If I walk into the river, if I put some stones in my pocket to weigh me down, if I drive in that lamppost, if I'm doing that is how my brain, and I'm going to say used to work, because obviously I put a lot of things into place for it not to do that anymore. And this was quite a current and often occurrence. I'm not just talking about maybe once a year I thought about this sort of stuff. It was a usual thought in my thought process was that. And I've ignored that thought. It's always been there, and it's not until I've started this journey that I thought, Jesus Christ, that really has become a norm in your brain that you're happy to think about that. And it's not something I'd done consciously. It was on a very subconscious level. And when I started this journey off and started looking back into my life and thinking about things, I was like, you thought about that way too much. And I can't really pinpoint the time when it started, how it started, when the first thought of it started. I can kind of move it back to that maybe when I started losing everything 5-6 years ago is when it kind of really hit home. And that's when I hit my lowest point, when I was, every time I drove my car, I was seriously just thinking of ways to do it. However, when people ask, like that counselor we had on the phone 2 weeks ago, what stopped you doing it? It's just the fact that I might be planning it and I might be thinking about doing it, but would I ever do it? No. And the reason for that is because depression would never beat me like that, and I never would let it beat me like that. Why do I have these thoughts? I don't know. I really have no idea. I can't go into too much detail about certain things in the past, but I've had to deal with people who have been trying to kill themselves, and it's not nice when you're trying to deal with that sort of crap. And then when you're sitting there going, yeah, probably would, I might have done the same way, that sort of thing. It's kind of a very difficult subject to kind of touch on and talk about. When I was having them thoughts 4 weeks ago, and then I suddenly thought to myself, what are you doing? And decided to start this. That was the first thing I wanted to tackle, and I can happily say with mindfulness in place, they've relatively stopped. And, I wanted to say to everyone out there, when the counsellor asked who in my life would I stop myself committing suicide for, the answer would be maybe until 4 weeks ago, not many people. Why? Because well, what have I got to live for, basically? I mean, could I enjoy another 40 years, 50 years, 60 years? Why did I start for 30, 40 years? Jesus Christ, I'm not going to die that quick. Living into my, the 80s, 90s, whatever. Would it matter if it ended now? No. Missed by a handful of people. And, that's kind of the truth of the matter. The only reason it's not ever got done is just the fact that I don't want depression to win, and I want to, now I want to be the absolute best person I can be. I don't want to be this sort of person who has these thoughts or whatever, and I don't want to be anything like that. And that's the whole point of starting this journey. And yeah, so I suppose it wasn't going to be a long video because it's really difficult to speak about. I know a lot of people who have thought about doing it. I know people who have tried. I've luckily never known anyone who's succeeded, which is a good thing. And that is pretty good. I'm glad that I don't know anyone succeeded. But if you are doing it, if it's, and I hate this term, people use it all the time, a cry for help. When someone does these sort of things, yes, sometimes it might be, if I stand on the wrong side of a railings or a bridge, someone will come along and they'll realize I have problems and I get some help. That's fine. That's not fine, but and when you're in this dark, deep hole that a lot of people find themselves in, sometimes it is the only way out, and sometimes it is the only thing you can think about, and it's sad. But just remember, just to talk to someone, just have a conversation with someone, open up about it. Remember the motto, fuck depression. That's what I keep saying. Just come on, we can do this and we can do it together. And yeah, that is all I really want to say on the subject. It's just a video I really wanted to get covered off. I knew it wouldn't be a long subject because it's not something I really want to talk about, but it's something that kind of needs to do on this journey because that's what started it all off. So yeah, I apologize to the red nose, as I was saying on my other video. I've been having a load of nosebleeds this week for some unknown reason. Ever since these tablet things last weekend, so my nose just feels terrible. But never mind, I have a red nose. If it was Christmas, I would be sorted for a job, and I will see you all later. Goodbye.